Okay, alright. Can you all hear me clearly ke apa? Sebab you all semua nampak stucky ni. I feel like kat Sasmet ni tak bagus. You all hear me clearly?
Yes.
Boleh.
Ha?
Yes, we can.
Boleh clear?
Boleh.
Boleh.
Sangat tak ngam dia nampak online semua stucky ni. Okay, alright. Fine. So, we are not going to go too long already because I'm already irritated with how the internet is going in this hospital now. When I'm irritated, usually it doesn't go really well lah. Okay. Alright, fine. Asthma. Okay, I agree with you. I think most of you, if I ask, the diagnosis will be asthma, isn't it? Provisional diagnosis. But what I'm trying to tell you is that is not enough. If you tell me the provisional diagnosis is asthma, doctor, that is not enough. What do you think that needed if you say the diagnosis is asthma?
The severity.
So first is this: does the child come in acute exacerbation of bronchial asthma ke tak? Is it in exacerbation ke? Or sometimes kalau patient asthma datang follow up, so they just follow up for asthma kan? Tapi now dia datang in exacerbation, betul? So it must be acute exacerbation of bronchial asthma. And acute exacerbation of bronchial asthma ni, dia ada severity dia. How do you grade the severity of asthma?
Low, moderate or high. Depends on
Low, moderate, high.
Mild, moderate, severe.
Mild, moderate, severe, life-threatening. Mild, moderate, severe, or life-threatening acute exacerbation of bronchial asthma. How do you classify whether it's mild, whether it's moderate, whether it's severe, or whether it's life-threatening? What are the things that you look at? This is the question that Najwa just mentioned, severity macam tu je. Lepas tu tanya tak tahu apa lagi. Kan? How do you grade the severity of asthma?
We can assess the way the patient talk. Kalau mat, saya boleh cakap lagi. Tapi kalau dah threatening, saya patient tak boleh nak cakap.
Dia adalah. So the child can still speak in sentence or speak in phrases. Phrases ni maknanya two word sentence, kan? Speak in phrases or speak in words or cannot speak at all. So this is how you grade. This is speech. Apa lagi komponen dia?
the wheeze,
Apa lagi komponen dia? Ha?
the wheezing sound.
Wheezing. Okay, severity of the wheezing, because sometimes kalau life threatening dia jadi silent chest. Kan? Lepas tu apa lagi? Conscious level, heart rate, pulses paradoxes, SpO2. SpO2 pun ada grading dia, 95, 92, berapa. Lepas tu apa lagi? Lepas tu PEFR, peak expiratory flow rate. Kan? So these are among the, so mana you nak tengok? At least, again, I always tell students, the minimum reading you should read is not buku sunflower tu. The minimum thing that you should read, bukan juga buku nota yang you photostat mana-mana tu. The minimum reading you should have is actually pediatric protocol for Malaysian hospital, 4th edition. That is the minimum reading for pediatric. That is the minimum reading. Lepas tu, bolehlah you nak naik buku sunflower, Tom Lisawa tu, it's okay. Kan? Kalau bagus lagi, bacalah Nelson pun ada grading dia kan. Baby Nelson, Mama Nelson, Papa Nelson. Baca Nelson. Tapi at least minimum reading for pediatric is the pediatric protocol for Malaysian hospital, because sometimes we create questions from the PIDS protocol. Kita tengok PIDS protocol tu, kita buat soalan daripada tu. So that's the minimum reading. So okay, asthma diagnosis, dia kena ada acute exacerbation dan severity. So mild, moderate, severe or life-threatening acute exacerbation of bronchial asthma. That is still not enough. Apa lagi you nak kena perlu?
The causes.
The trigger, because exacerbation, there must be a trigger for the exacerbation. Trigger tak ada, suka-suka jadi trigger, tak ada. There must be a trigger. There must be a trigger for the exacerbation. Cold weather, dust, URTI, pharyngitis, pneumonia. So apa-apalah. So mild, moderate, severe, life-threatening acute exacerbation of bronchial asthma secondary to or due to apa? Pharyngitis, due to coryza, due to URTI, due to COVID-19, due to kejut, due to apa? Whatever lah. Kan, whatever the trigger. So your history, your physical action, you need to look for the trigger as well. You need to look for the trigger. And is that enough? That is still not enough. Apa lagi yang perlu untuk asthma diagnosis ni?
Well controlled or not?
You need to know the status of the asthma. You need to know the status of the asthma. And status of the asthma ni, there are two ways how you should classify them. For newly diagnosed asthma, you classify according to intermittent or persistent. So maknanya you kata with intermittent and persistent. Persistent pula ada mild, moderate, severe persistent bronchial asthma. So acute exacerbation of bronchial asthma, mild, moderate, severe acute exacerbation of bronchial asthma, secondary to pharyngitis, secondary to apa, what is the cause of the trigger, with underlying newly diagnosed intermittent, mild, moderate, severe persistent bronchial asthma. Itu kalau newly diagnosed. Kalau yang dah known asthmatic, known case of asthmatic, you classify according to the control. So control of the asthma ni, control, partly control, poorly control. Control, partly control, poorly control. So this is how you formulate the proper asthma diagnosis. Mild, moderate, severe, life-threatening acute exacerbation of bronchial asthma, secondary to cause of the trigger, with underlying apa? Kalau with underlying newly diagnosed, intermittent, or mild, moderate, severe, persistent bronchial asthma. Kalau known asthma with underlying control, partly control, poorly control bronchial asthma. Macam tu. Boleh? Okay. Alright. So asthma and asthma phenotype, semua orang dah froze kat sini. You all dengar tak dengar ni?
Dengar.
This is very bad lah. I think my internet is problem lah. Hai. Because I saw everyone froze tau. Okay lah. So asthma and asthma phenotype are among the few diseases that we expect you to know in great detail. In great detail. If you get me for exam, kita bawa asthma punya question, it's really not interesting to talk when everyone freezes macam tu. Okay lah. I don't know whether you're listening lagi ke tak ni. I lost everyone already.
Dengar doktor.
Dengar Okay lah, fine. Where was I? Okay, so asthma and asthma phenotypes. Asthma phenotypes ni macam apa? Contohnya macam acute bronchiolitis, post viral wheeze, multi trigger wheeze, episodic wheeze, brittle asthma. So ni semua ni adalah types of asthma phenotypes yang you would expect to come in exam regularly. And if you get this asthma and its phenotype for exam, we expect you to know in great detail. If you get me for exam, I expect you to know how the grading, how do you classify the severity of asthma. I have personally failed students sebabnya tak boleh nak classify severity. We need to know the severity because that's very important. How do you classify, how do you stratify asthma is very important. Kan? We expect you to know that. And if you get me for exam, I'll ask you about pathophysiology. What's the pathophysiology of asthma? Pathophysiology of asthma is an interesting question for theory as well. So we'll ask you to write lengthy about the pathophysiology of asthma. I think this is bad. I don't think I can proceed lah. I think I don't know why. This is I mean UIA. UIA is very bad internet connection ke hospital ni. This is getting irritating already. Okay lah. Alright. Are you all still here?
Yes.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, still here doctor.
How I don't know how. I think okay, all right. I think let's okay. Any specific question that will end now. But I think I can offer you. Do I have another session with you tak? Kalau tak ada, we can arrange an extra session lah overnight ke bila-bila. If you all want lah. Kalau tak nak
Boleh,
juga,
boleh.
tak apa.
Boleh.
Alright. So anyway, I think we need to stop now because I don't think it's working macam ni. Okay. Alright. Let's end our session with tasbih kafarah. Nanti tengok anytime yang you rasa macam okay, kita buat malam ke petang. I'll use my home punya internet connection is better than here in UAE. Okay. Alright. Okay. Assalamualaikum.
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 Okay, doktor.
Doktor.